Okay, so this is the monthly predictions for the month of July, and I'm actually so excited for this month because there's some major changes happening this month that I am very excited about. Hopefully you guys are too. So let's begin. I'm going to begin by giving you the dates of all the transits and what they all mean, and then we'll get into the signs. Okay, so first off, we have the sun. So the sun is going from sidereal Gemini to first half of the month. We'll have the sun in Gemini, which is a really good position for the sun. The ruler is Mercury, who's also sitting there in Gemini for the first half of the month. And then after July 17th, the sun moves into the sign of Cancer, where it will be until next month. Then we have the full moon today, July 2nd in Sagittarius. So there's a ending to a chapter today happening. And then we have the new moon in Cancer, a beginning of a new chapter happening on the 17th when sun enters Cancer as well. So Mars is officially in the sign of Leo as of July 1st. So I don't know if you've noticed, for the past month, Venus and Mars were conjunct together in the sign of Cancer, sidereal, in the nakshatra of Ashlesha, which meant that it was in a Gandanta point. So there was a lot of karmic situations unfolding in our lives. So I live in Miami, which is always sunny all year long. And for the past month, it has been raining every single day. And Mars just came into the sign of Leo. And as soon as it did that, it's been sunny all day since yesterday. There's no rain, no thunder. Prior to that, it had been raining every day because the sun was Mars was just entered, a really good sign where it's friendly to the sun in the sign of Leo. So all of the karmas that we were experiencing as it pertained to our action, as it pertained to our love life, as it pertained to machinery, as well as accidents, as well as action, all of that is over. And now we're like starting this new chapter where we feel a lot more alive and a lot more bright and ready to take on sunshine. So this is really good to have Mars in the sign of Leo. Then we have Venus leaving again the Gandanta point of Cancer on the 7th. So it'll join Mars on the 7th of July in the sign of Leo. And this is really good because now we're talking about love, we're talking about romance, we're talking about money, we're talking about abundance when we talk about Venus. So when Venus leaves the Gandanta point of Cancer, where it feels really uncomfortable, it feels like relationships are being tested right now, it feels like we're all struggling in the love department. When it leaves that sign, that Gandanta point of Cancer, and it enters the bright sun of Leo along with Mars, we're going to feel even better about ourselves. We're going to feel like our confidence is back, like we can finally step out into the world and feel alive again after a really rough time. But then after the 23rd, Venus goes retrograde, and this is the very important transit. I'm going to make a separate video really detailing what it's going to mean for all the signs, but I'm briefly going to speak on it in this video because it's really important to know about this Venus retrograde, because again, Venus deals with love and it's going to be in the sign of Leo. So you're going to see a lot of ego clashes, a lot of past situations that were unresolved come back into our lives. We're going to see issues with the stock market. We're going to see issues with our own ego. We're going to see issues with our relationships in general, or not issues, but just things from the past coming back to resurface in order for us to close chapters, depending where it's happening in our lives, especially because Mars and Venus are going to be opposite Saturn, that's also in retrograde motion. And then this retrograde motion of Venus next month goes back into the sign of Cancer in the Gandanta point of Ashlesha. So make sure that you're focusing on what's going on in your life right now, because next month you're going to be revisiting these situations. So then Mercury enters Cancer on July 8th, and it's moving really, really fast because by the 25th, it'll enter the sign of Leo, where it will join where we'll join Mars and Venus. And I believe by the end of the month, Mars goes, or Mercury, no, next month Mercury goes retrograde as well, along with the retrograde Venus and along with retrograde Saturn. So it's going to be quite a bit these next 2 months with all the retrogrades that are about to happen in our lives. Then Rahu and Ketu change nakshatra, so they go from they just changed nakshatra. Ketu entered the nakshatra of Chitra, so we're going to see a lot of us revisiting things from the past that dealt with creation, that dealt with beauty. So picking up old hobbies that we created that helped, that we utilized our hands with, like picking up hobbies like creating paintings, or picking up hobbies that dealt with our hands, or something to do with like beauty and fashion and all of that. A lot of us are going to be very focused on those things now that the nakshatras have changed for Rahu and Ketu, which are the karmic points in our charts. So now let's get started with the actual predictions for all the rising and moon signs. Aries, rising and moons. So the month of July is not a bad month for you. So the first half of the month, you're going to see, you're going to focus on finishing off some kind of chapter that related to your home environment, to your career. You're closing chapters in that area, and some kind of karmic releasing is happening. Now, Mars entered your 5th house of romance along with Venus. So you're gonna, the remainder of the month, especially after the 7th till the end of the month, you're going to be doing a lot of like having fun with friends. A lot of creative projects are coming your way. If you work in an area that deals with creativity, if you work in an area that deals with media, or that deals with you have your own business, this is a great time that you're revisiting something, or working hard towards achieving a goal in that area, especially after the 7th, once Venus joins Mars in your 5th house. You're having a lot of action, a lot of things that are happening in your love department. So Mars and Venus are both in a really good dignity to your rising sign. So they're in a friendly sign in its own house in its own 5th house of Leo. So this month is especially really good for you, and it's especially really abundant as it pertains to love, as it pertains to having fun, as it pertains to friendships. Today, so with the full moon, you're closing off a chapter that dealt with your belief systems, that dealt with your willpower. Then you have a sun in your 3rd house, which is giving you a lot of strength to close this chapter. Maybe this chapter dealt with something in your career life, or maybe this chapter dealt with something mentally that you were trying to struggle with. You're kind of like past that by this full moon. This could have been something that you were struggling with for the last 6 months, or 6 months ago you were focusing on it. You're finally feeling settled at home, and you're wanting to like go out more, you're wanting to spend more time with friends, you're wanting to create more, you're wanting to just heal your inner child. And then by the end of the month, once Venus goes retrograde and then Mercury enters your 5th house, you're going to feel like possibly some things from your past that dealt with your relationships are coming back, or dealt with your friendships are coming back, in order for you to kind of like close that chapter. Or maybe you might hear from old lovers, or if you have children, something with your children, or if you were trying to conceive, this might be a time when you hear back from that, or when you get pregnant, if that was something that you're planning to do for a while. This is a time, or you might just feel like learning something, picking up an old, learning something that you had kind of like put aside from the past, and now you're bringing it back to learn again. But you're definitely going to be hearing, or doing some renovations at home, or hearing from like past lovers or past friendships that really had like an open wound in your life back again. For the Aries, the biggest thing this month is that you're coming out from a time in your life where you were struggling at home, or there was some kind of like karmic issues that were going on in your home life that were like making you feel a little bit uneasy, or just like trying to settle into your home life, but not just home. This could also mean cars, vehicles. This could also mean your own sense of feeling secure within yourself. Like you weren't feeling like that before. You were feeling very secluded or very much like you needed to change something to feel more comfortable within your sense of self, within your sense of happiness. And now that after Venus leaves your fourth house and enters your fifth house, along with Mars being there, you that's all going to be settled, and you're just going to feel like, I now feel more comfortable within my own skin. Now I'm ready to put myself out there. Now I'm ready to meet new people. Now I'm ready to feel more creative, to be more myself. And so this is the biggest thing happening for you this month, especially because the ruler is in good dignity with your rising. So your rising sign being ruled by Mars in your fifth house, this is a beautiful month for you to be the most creative, for you to launch a business before the retrograde. Unless the only exception is if this business you were trying to launch it for many prior, like it's something from the past you were trying to launch, and then you decide to now launch it during the retrograde, then that's not a negative thing. But if you come up with a brand new idea and you try to launch your business now this month, after the 23rd, I would suggest holding off until Venus is direct. But of course, for certain people in their charts, they're meant to launch things, get married, meet their spouses during a retrograde. So it all depends on specific charts. Just do whatever you're feeling called to do, but I would advise against it as a general prediction. However, you're going to feel more creative. You're going to want to pick up old hobbies. You're going to want to spend more time with the children if you have it, or you're going to want to revise your relationship with them and just like have more fun and meet new connections. But your friendships, there could be some kind of like thing that happens in your friendships that you need to watch out for, especially within your communication, especially after Mercury enters Cancer on July 8th. When it enters your fourth house, you need to watch your speech. You need to watch how you're communicating with your friends now, and even after, all the way until the 25th, you really need to watch how you communicate with your friends, how you speak your truth, because it could come off as a little bit harsh, and it can get you into karmic situations with friendships or with your connections or within your work environment. So that's the only like thing that I would say to watch out for this month. You can feel a little bit like bugged down, like a little bit of issues with like your skin perhaps, or like your face area, or even like your chest area, like maybe getting a rash or things like that. But other than that, it's a good month for you. I don't see anything that's very negative in your case. Just watch your speech, watch where you communicate within your friendships, within your job, with the people that you love, with your kids. And other than that, everything, you can be meeting new people this month. You can be having fun this month. You can feel like yourself again this month. A tarot card to see what the energy for this month is for the Aries rising and moons. Let's see. Okay, we got it. The Star. Ooh. Tarot card is all about renewal, new energy, being the center of attention. It's about hope, creativity, the calm, or like a drift or healing, serenity, a drift in direction after a difficult period, which very much aligns with what the reading is for you this month. The ruler of your first house, Mars, is going into the sign of into your fifth house in the sign of Leo, which is Leo is the star, Leo is the sun. So this month is a month of renewal for you, and it's like you're taking a whole different shift in your life, or finally feeling like yourself again. So it's very aligned with the tarot card that we got for you for this month. So this is a really good energy for this month for the Aries rising and moons. Off to the next sign, which is Taurus. Taurus risings and Taurus moons. So the first half of the month, a lot of your energy is going towards your family life. It's going towards your sense of stability and your finances, and your sort of your possessions. So there's a lot of energy going on there. But finally, after couple months, being Mars left your third house, which is really making your willpower and your strength really stagnant. Like you were feeling a little bit bugged down, like you couldn't take action towards things. Officially, Mars has entered your fourth house of home, along with Venus after the seventh. And so what this means is that you're going to be feeling a sense of push and pull between your home life and your career. This is a great time where you can see a lot of career growth, but it won't come until you take back or like revise something from the past that maybe you have overlooked. So there could be also a move for the Taurus. Maybe some of you have been planning to move, or you're just trying to renovate your home, or if you already moved, you've been trying to make your home more stable. This can also mean that this month, some of you are thinking about buying a property, buying a car, switching cars, maybe traveling a lot. There's a lot of the houses, the travel houses are active, and there could be a lot of expenses as well because of travel. Maybe your mom is wanting more attention from you this month, but definitely this is a month that's very career focused, and that's asking you to look back and analyze something from your career that you could have missed, or maybe your superiors might call to your attention something that you have missed before you get that stability in your work life that you've been wanting. But regardless, once Venus goes retrograde in your fourth house, there's something from the past that pertain to your inner stability, to your inner happiness, is coming back into your life in order for you to revisit, revise that step, revise that situation. It could deal with your home life. Maybe you're feeling more stable at home, and you have a lot of drive and a lot of energy at home to get things done, as well as in your career to get things done. But yet your home life is pushing you, is pulling you, and your career is asking you to revisit something. So there's like a clash there, or maybe like there's a clash with your family, there's a clash with the communication with your mom, or your mom is wanting more attention from you, or you guys are bickering more. But regardless, this is a good placement for you to move right now, to travel. Just don't move after the retrograde, which is the 23rd, unless I get something that had been planned and it was stagnant and you weren't able to before, and now the doors are half opened for you to move. Then do that. There could be also some kind of love interest that comes back into your life, or there could be some kind of past people that feel like home to you that come back into your life, or maybe past coworkers, or maybe something about your reputation that comes back into your life. It could be for the better. It could also be due to could be due to something that you have missed, like some kind of paperwork that you missed, and now you're having to revisit it during the retrograde period. But then after Mercury moves into your fourth house, things will be less chaotic when it comes to your work, when it comes to your everyday life. So overall, this month is not bad for you. I would say the biggest thing is your home life and your career life. Make sure that you are looking through everything in your career. Make sure that you're revisiting everything that needs to get done, even though you're gonna feel like, oh, I would rather be at home than at work, or I'm feeling a little bit stagnant at work, I would rather not do this. Do it, because the more that you push yourself forward, the more you're going to get recognition, because this could be a month of recognition that was owed to you that's finally going to arrive after some hurdles and after some hard work, after pushing through that. Then the new moon happening in your third house is going to begin a chapter that deals with your communication, that deals with your willpower, your strength. This is on the new moon is going to happen on the 12th. The new moon is happening on the 17th, and then the full moon is happening now. So the full moon is closing off a chapter that began back in December that could have been a difficult chapter as it pertained to like your home environment, as it pertained to your inner stability, to your resources. Just watch your spending this month. Maybe you want to do some big purchases. Hold off on those unless it was something that was planned already for a while. Otherwise, this is a good month for you. Just watch your communication with your family, with your home, get things done at work, like, and you'll get the recognition that you deserve after some hurdles and after some struggles, but your willpower is you're finally feeling good again. You're finally feeling like home. You're finally feeling like yourself again after the last few months where your energy was sort of stagnant. Let's energy is for the Taurus rising and moons for the month of July. Let's see what the tarot says the energy would be like. Okay, we got an Ace of Cups. Let me pick it up. So we got Ace of Cups. And Ace of Cups is like a hand with like a cup that's overflowing, which is very aligned with the energy for you this month, because it's like after the storm comes sunshine, comes new beginnings. So this is a new beginning card, new relationships, new love, happiness, fertility all around you. And Mars just entered the sign of Leo, which is all about, it's the ruler of the fifth house, and is very aligned with your reading, because this month is all about fertility and like new beginnings and new love opportunities, a change of home, or like a new beginning in your sense of happiness and your sense of self after a month of difficulty, after going down to a point that you just went through with Cancer. So it's celebration. It's all about newness. So this is a really good card to get for the Taurus rising and moons. So new beginnings this month, very aligned with your reading. And yeah, now we're off to the next sign, which is Gemini. Geminis, there's really not a lot of negative things to say, because this is the month for you where you are recovering, where you are finally feeling like yourself again after having Sun in your 12th house. It has arrived in your first house. At least the first half of the month, you're going to be feeling like yourself again. Mars is ruled by Sun, and Sun is in your first house. So you're going to be seen by a lot of people. A lot of people are recognizing you. A lot of things and wish fulfillments are coming true this month for you. So you have Rahu and Jupiter in the 11th house, and they're being activated by Mars and Venus, which means that wish fulfillments when it comes to your friendships, when it comes to love, when it comes to new projects, when it comes to business. If you work in social media, if you work in, have your own business, this is a month where you're really going to see those things come to fruition. Your wishes are going to be fulfilled. This is a really good month when it comes to your material desires, your manifestations. The only thing I would say is that you could be a little bit harsh with your speech, because you're going like forward, you're just moving at full speed, and you're not realizing that sometimes people need some time to process, or maybe the things that you say might come off as a little bit aggressive to others, or you might get into arguments with like your siblings, or there's something around your siblings that are just needing more of your attention right now, but your willpower is really strengthened. And if you were having difficulty like with your health, or if you were having difficulty with your strength and like with your family, or even like with your sense of stability, the remedy that I would recommend, because right now you have a lot of strength and you have a lot of willpower, it would be to do some kind of like a physical exercise where you can work out or go for walks, or just incorporate some kind of physical exercise, and you're going to see how you're going to be able to restabilize your mind. When it comes to your learning, some of you, if you're in school, you could be revisiting something about your career or your learning. You can be taking short trips this month, or even like a long trip. But long trip, it will be like something that's going to be spiritual or learning wise. Maybe you decide that you want to take a road trip, or maybe you decide you want to learn something, or you're just going to be focusing on learning something from the past that you really needed to focus on. Maybe some of you were studying for a big exam, and now is the time when you decide, I finally have the energy and the drive to learn this, and to really let this information seep in. So you're going to be learning a lot, or you're just going to be viewing things differently, or revising the way that the opinions that you had about the world around you, the people around you, your friends, your community, your inner circle, as well as like your neighbors, or even like your schoolmates, if you're in school, or your coworkers, the people that you hang around with in your small circle. You're going to be changing your opinions about them, or just spending more time with them, or there could be something about your communication with them that you need to just be a little bit more calm when it comes to your communication with them, because you have a lot of energy right now, and a lot of your energy is being pushed forward. Be careful driving and like handling machineries, or like when you're driving, try not to have like road rage or anything like that, because Mars in your third house is really going to like make you have a lot of energy and a lot of willpower. If you were writing a book, or if you were thinking about new ideas, like new business ideas, this is the month when a lot of those things are coming in, and you have the drive to actually get it done, especially if it was something that was a wish fulfillment from the past. Maybe this is the month when you decide that you're going to finally manifest that new business. Just hold off after the 23rd, once Venus goes retrograde in your third house, on signing anything, unless this was something that you were planning from the past. Then I would say go ahead with it. Love prospects, or just like a renewal of old relationships, or somebody from your past coming back into your life, or maybe even just hanging out a lot with friends and like fulfilling those wishes of relationships. There's a full moon happening, completing a cycle in your seventh house now in this next few days. So this full moon in your seventh house is completing a chapter from a relationship that could have been 6 months ago, maybe getting over somebody if you were in a relationship, or maybe meeting somebody new. Or and then on the 17th, there will be a new moon in your second house. It's going to bring in stability. There's going to bring in a new chapter as it pertains to your sense of stability, to your sense of security in your life, that will unfold in the next 6 months. I would say set the intention at this time to find stability, to find financial prosperity, because Venus will also go retrograde next month in your second house. At first, the retrograde begins in your third house on the 23rd, and then next month it goes into your second house. So watch what's going on right now in your house of finances, because there's going to be a revisiting of that next month. But for now, your willpower, something that's becoming stronger, your wishes are being fulfilled this month. And this could be relating to relationship. And I forgot for the previous signs, but I wanted to start pulling out one tarot card for each sign, and seeing what the energy for each rising and moon sign is for this month. And let's see what it is for you. Oh, okay, here we go. We got two, and I'll go for this one, the Knight of Pentacles. So to me, it has a lot to do with watching your dreams come true after deliberating it, and after working very hard in a patient and slow and steady way. Your wishes coming in and coming true, which is exactly what the astrology for you this month is, which is wish fulfillment and a lot of material desires, a lot of material gains for you this month. So the Knight of Pentacles is very aligned with what your monthly prediction has. All right, off to the next sign, which is Cancer. Okay, Cancer rising and moon. So first half of the month, you have Sun in your 12th house until the second half, with Mercury there. Once Mercury moves into your first house, and slowly Sun also goes into your first house, you're going to be feeling a lot better. But this month is very focused on your finances and on feeling a lot more stable within your sense of self, security within yourself. There's going to be some kind of reassessments of your financial stability, of your stability within the security of your relationships. There's a lot of reassessing your career life, and reassessing your financial gains through your career. So this could be a little bit of a difficult time when it comes to career. I mean, some of you could be struggling in your career-wise, and this is the time when you're having to revisit what is important for you. What are you trying to achieve within your work environment? Be careful with like gossiping or talking bad about others, especially when it comes to your reputation, because your reputation everything is on the line this month, especially it will be for the next 2 years, but especially this month where you have Mars and then Venus going retrograde in your second house. Your family is asking a lot of you, but this could be a time when you can gain a lot of financial stability if your chart, of course, promises that, but especially through your family. Or it could be the case that if you were waiting on some kind of settlement, or if you were waiting on some kind of inheritance, this is the month when that comes to you. Or this is the month when you finally feel like you are gaining stability in your finances or in your resources, or your resources are increasing, like your bank accounts are increasing. Or on the other side of the coin, this could be a time when your family is asking more of you, or is requiring more of you, or you're reassessing how the dynamics of your family play out. Like, for instance, how you provide stability to your family. Maybe they want you to provide more monetarily. Maybe they want you to input more financially than you have been, or maybe they're asking more of you and you're bickering because you don't feel stable enough to provide for them. Or this could also be a month when you're feeling like you need to work hard, to build wealth. You're feeling a lot of insecurities when it comes to your with Saturn being retrograde in your 8th house. You can feel very insecure when it comes to your sense of wealth, what you have, what you lack, what you don't have, what you do have. And this could be a time when you're working really hard to improve that, whether that's through some kind of inheritance, through some kind of settlement, insurance settlement. It could even be through some kind of loan, or even just like your family helping you out in some way. Or this could be a time when you're just reassessing your relationships, especially your relationships dynamics with your family as it pertains to your resources and what you can provide and what you can't provide. This could be a time when a lot of things come to the surface as it pertains to your relationships and as it pertains to your family life. Here, I wrote here in my notes that that you're completing a cycle within your career life, or just feeling like you want to complete a cycle, because if your current career is, you're not feeling satisfied in your current career, this could be a time when you're feeling like I have the energy to complete that cycle, and I need to find something that brings me more stability, that brings me more wealth and income. So you're definitely reassessing your career, you're reassessing your family, you're reassessing your relationships within your family, the dynamics of your family. You're really on the spotlight at work, and you're really on the spotlight within your family life. Like, everybody's looking at you, so try not to get into any gossips, try not to speak ill words of others. So that karma is not, because Saturn in your 8th house is really bringing up fears, past fears about your lack, or if you feel lack, or if you feel like you need to transform in some way. This is a very transformative month for you, but especially transformative in the sense of your sense of stability and your sense of wealth, and your sense of what you bring to the table for others, for your relationships, for your family, how you take care of others. So you're really reassessing all of that. And old projects, you can feel a little bit unstable about your resources, but at the same time, you're bringing back old projects that possibly you had set aside and you thought, this is not going to go anywhere. Maybe you're bringing them back, and they will bring you fruition of some sort. And what I'm doing with every sign is that I'm picking a tarot card to see what the tarot says will be the energy for you this month. So let's see, one fell out. Knight of Wands is the card for you, so let's see. Wands talks about going full speed and taking action towards your dreams to manifest your wishes. It talks about just going head on, just taking action towards what you want in life and getting the job done, like being the one to step up and get the job done and just take action, which talks a lot about how this month in your actual astrology, you are really revisiting and revising the role that you play in your career and in your family life, how you provide for them. So you're really taking charge and taking action towards your dreams and what you need to do to achieve what you want. Just don't be too hasty. Don't take too much of a hasty type of action, and watch your words within your career life and within your family life. Also, the new moon is going to be going on in your 12th the full moon is happening in your 6th house of work. So there's a completion that's happening for you at work, in your work environment, and your everyday environment. And then the new moon is happening over your 1st house, which is really bringing to light a new chapter that pertains to your sense of self and what you want in this life and what you're trying to achieve in this life. So I hope that this made sense, and we're off to the next sign, which is Leo. I'm so excited for you because this is literally the month that you have been waiting for some time now. You have been struggling. You have been struggling mentally. You have been struggling with your relationships. Just have been overall under this cloud, under this gloomy feeling that you've been trying to push through. Okay, now this is the month that you finally do that your light comes back. This is a month filled with confidence. This is the month when your sun revives itself, when you begin to see the sun again, when the sun is shining on you. You're at the center of attention this month. Everything is on you. All attention is on you. You are feeling yourself again. You are getting your personality back, of course. After this, for Leos, not having their personality is a big deal because your life revolves around the sun. You are the sun, so it revolves around the core of your personality and how you feel internally, and how your confidence feels, because up until now your confidence has really been lacking. You've had a lot of planets in your 12th house where your expenses were super high. You were feeling very emotionally bogged down, but now Mars is it's in a friendly sign in your 1st house. So Mars will be there all month into August. And then after the 7th, Venus joins your 1st house, which is going to really make you feel more beautiful, make you feel more confident. Mars there gives you the passion and the drive to take action towards the things that you want, towards the things that you love. Mars is making an aspect to Rahu and Jupiter in your 9th house of luck, of wishes, of your dharma, in your path in this life. So there's a trinal axis going on here that's bringing you luck. It's bringing you abundance. The full moon is happening in your 5th house of love. So there's an ending to a chapter when it comes to love that needed to be closed, or an ending to some kind of problematic situation that really made you feel insecure about yourself. So this is a beautiful month for you. There could be some expenses on the rise still, because Mercury is going to join mid-month in your 12th house. But right now you have Sun and Mercury in the 11th house, the 1st half of the month, which is making you, helping you fulfill your wishes. So this is a month of wish fulfillment. This is a month of getting your confidence back. If you were having any health issues, this is a month when your health is back in line and you're feeling a lot better about yourself. You're feeling a lot more beautiful. You're shining. People are recognizing you. Your relationships could be a point of difficulty still, or something that you're revisiting from the past in your relationships that you're having to revisit. So you're having to learn these lessons with Saturn being retrograde in your 7th house, so that you can move past them, so that you can learn whatever it's trying to teach you, so you can find the connections and the relationships that are meant to be in your life. If there were some kind of issues with your contracts or with the relationships with the outside world, people are going to want more of your energy right now. People are wanting to be around you right now, and they're going to require more of you. And so that's just a given. But at the same time, you have the drive this month and the energy to give it to them, to be able to give back. Because at the end of the day, all the sun wants to do is shine and be of service to others. So the sun is the hottest planet. If you think about it in the galaxy, the sun radiates light. It doesn't require anything in return. So the sun just wants to give. The thing was that before, when Mars was in your 12th house, you didn't have the capacity, you didn't have the energy to give. Now that Mars is in your first house, because before it was in your 12th, you have the drive, you have the energy to give to others freely what the Saturn is requiring you to give, so that you can learn lessons, so that you can learn how to cooperate with others in a healthy manner, so that, you know, some of you might get into a relationship this month or revisit old relationships that have ended to close those chapters. Some of you are traveling long distance. Some of you have expenses that are on the rise, or some of you just might be getting recognition when it comes to your work environment. And Leo gaining confidence. They're also gaining strength this month, but especially because Mars is a very important planet for you. Mars is the planet that brings you luck for the Leo ascendant. So there's a luck factor that can come into your life, and sudden gains, or like sudden money that comes to you, or just like a very money focused or material focused month for you, where luck is on your side, and therefore you can gain a lot this month. But at the same time, you're feeling very impulsive, and you're feeling like spending a lot as well. So you can be gaining a lot, but at the same time, you're also spending a lot. Not only spending a lot on yourself, like shopping physically, but also spending a lot on travel, or just in general wanting to spend all the gains instead of saving it, or instead of investing it. You're wanting to spend. This month is all about you. You're wanting to really put that out there. The only caution I would say is 7th house Saturn. Like I said, you're learning a lot of lessons when it comes to your relationships. But it's also the ruler of your 6th house. So if anything, health related, although you are becoming a lot stronger physically and health wise, especially from the last few months where you were kind of like struggling, this month you're becoming healthier. But at the same time, if there's any type of health issues that come up for you this month, it's very important for you to address it head on right away. Pluto is in your 6th house. Mercury is going to be opposite of that. Saturn is in your 7th house, the ruler of your 6th and 7th house. So it's very important that you take care of anything that comes up for you right away, so that you can handle it, settle it, and move on. Because if not, what Saturn does is that it'll expand and it'll grow whatever is not working, so that you can realize this is something that you need to focus on. You can't let that go anymore. But it also gives you the tools to heal it, as long as you pay attention to whatever is happening and you take the correct action towards it, like course correcting. So this is what's in store for you. That's the only negative side. This could also be a month where you meet somebody who's very mature, if you're single, or your relationship, if you're really working hard towards it, takes a turn for the better. Some of you, if the relationship is not going well, maybe this is the month when you have the energy to just end it. Just don't do anything on impulse, because with Mars in the 1st house, you're feeling very impulsive to just take action without thinking. And then when Venus comes in and it goes retrograde, this action that you're taking is very much related to luxury, and to wealth, and to money, and also related to your love life. So that's the only caution. But this is your month, Leo. This is a really good month for your wish fulfillments, especially first half of the month when you have Sun and Mercury in your 11th house of wish fulfillments. Your full moon is happening in the 5th, and then the new moon is happening in your 12th house. So the new moon will start up a new chapter for you on the 17th. That it'll take place for 6 months. And this new chapter deals with letting go of any stagnant energy, letting go of any subconscious fears that you might be having, letting go of enemies, or letting go of any expenses that are not serving you in any way. And I've been pulling a card for all the zodiac signs. So let's pull one for Leo to see what the energy is for you this month. What is the energy for Leo this month? What is the energy for Leo this month? What is the energy for Leo this month? If nothing comes out, I'll just pull one. Oh, so many. There's a lot of energies, but okay, let me pause it. This was the only one that was flipped on the floor, so I will go with the Empress. The other ones were not facing. Right, so the energy for Leos this month is the Empress. Let's see what this means. What I gather is that it's a card that deals with fertility. It's ruled by Venus, and it's basically like a woman sitting on her throne with like like the forest all around her, a lot of new growth, new beginnings, like fertility towards a new horizon, or just like new beginnings coming into your life. So this is very aligned with this energy with the transits that are happening. So after the storm, you're now stepping into your Empress energy. You're now becoming more sensual, more creative. Beauty, femininity is all around you. You're being seen by others, and you're cultivating, and your new growth is happening in your life. Your confidence is back. You're gaining strength. So all of those beautiful things are happening for the Leo rising, especially because Leo is an expression of our inner child, and it is the most creative sign because it is the natural ruler of the fifth house. So you're going to be doing big displays of creative expressions. This is a great time for the Leos who are single, or for the Leos who are just wanting to feel more like themselves, wanting to feel reinvent themselves in some way. Also, the Empress card apparently deals with fertility, so maybe some of you might be getting pregnant this month, or just starting a new creative project of some sort, or just like a rebirth after the period of transformation that you underwent the past few months. Off to the next sign, which is Virgo. Virgo rising and moons. Okay, so this is a mixed bag of a month for you. So on one end, you're going full speed. So Mercury is moving signs. It's going from your 10th house to your 11th house. So this is a good thing. So you're getting a lot of things accomplished, especially in your career. Right now, all eyes on you. All eyes are on you when it comes to work and career and your home life, because you have Sun and Mercury in the 10th house, the ruler of your first house. So career is very important for you, and all of that is a big point of focus right now. Then after mid-month, when Sun moves into your 11th house, Mercury is moving into your 11th house on the 8th. So it's moving very fast. So you're going to feel like you're getting a lot accomplished, but you're also moving so fast, and it's like you don't even have time to sit back and think. Mars just moved into your 12th house, and on the 7th, Venus will join as well. So all of the hard work that you've been doing these past few weeks are going to come to fruition, and you're going to receive some kind of increase in finances if you were expecting that, or some kind of revelation that comes to you, or some kind of like it's possible for you to get this month some kind of recognition in your work job, in your work, especially if you work in the media, or if you work in where you have to present yourself, where you have to, in an area of life that's part of an institution, or that deals with like communication to some extent. So if that's the area of life you work in, there could be some kind of change of reputation. There could be some kind of increase in wealth in those areas of life. But at the same time, even though you're going to feel very productive, you're going to feel very like you're going at full speed, you're getting a lot of things done. The second half, you can also have some kind of wish fulfillment come true. But the issue is that Venus goes retrograde towards the second half of the month. And when this happens, there could be some increase in expenses. Actually, your increase in expenses is already happening, because Mars just entered your 12th house, which means that not only are you feeling a little bit more tired than usual, a little bit more exhausted, wanting to rest more. There could be some kind of situations within your work environment that even though you're working very hard, you're at the end of the day, you're very exhausted, or you're feeling like people are not cooperating with you, like you're not getting the recognition that you deserve, not the recognition, but your coworkers are not being as collaborative as they should be. That's a feeling that you're going to have all month long. And you can even translate into like having some kind of like hidden enemies, or like people who are working behind your back, where your energy is being leaked and your expenses are high. It's not a negative month overall. I would just say, just be careful with your expenses. Be very cautious as to what you're spending your money on, and keep working very hard, because it's going to pay off by next month. But when Venus goes retrograde in your 12th house, there could be some kind of situations from work, as well as situations from in your friendships that come up that you have to resolve from the past, or you just revising and revisiting how you stand in your partnerships, how you stand in your relationships with your friends and your loved ones, and as well as in your career, you're revising those relationships. You're also going to be thinking about, give me one second, your routine and your day-to-day life and how you can make that better to be more efficient. Your Saturn is retrograde in your 6th house, and then Mars and Venus are opposite of that. So your mental health and your physical health really need to be a point of focus for you this month, and you really need to align the two, because once Venus goes retrograde, your mind is gonna go all out in thinking about how you could have done things differently with past friends, with past lovers, as well as with within your work life, within your work environment, how you could have maybe things from your past come up, like people from your past, or a situation from your past, like contracts, or just old coworkers or old friends that come back into your life, in order for you to revisit and reassess that. So it's important for you to revisit your beginning of the month, and now while Mars is direct, revisit your routine and how you go about your day-to-day life, because you have a lot of energy right now to get things done and to have a very strong routine, because Saturn is bringing you this feeling of pressure when it comes to your work, giving you a lot more responsibilities, giving you more work, and then you having to figure out how you're going to incorporate that into your everyday life. So now already Mars is in your 12th house. Now you have the energy to get it done, even though you're feeling exhausted at the end of the day. All of this pushing through is going to pay off at the end, when you get that recognition that you deserve, and next month as well, or after mid-month, once Sun goes into your 11th house, and that will be on the 17th. Sun enters your 11th house, and Mercury enters your 11th house on the 8th. So from the 17th really, but also actually from the 8th onward, you're going to receive those, you're going to start to see the light at the end of the tunnel from all of the pushing through and hard work and just going full speed that you've been doing. But it's important for you to keep a very strong routine, because Saturn is really making you aware of your blind spots as it pertains to your health, as it pertains to your mental, physical health, overworking yourself, your expenses, leaking of your energy. Who is leaking your energy? Who's draining you? Is your work draining you? Are you all this responsibility? Can you handle it? Expenses going up. Hidden enemies from work might be there, where they're like not cooperating with you, but at the end of the day, you will overcome all of this. And once Venus goes retrograde in your 11th house, you're going to have an opportunity to reassess your life and reassess what went wrong. But at the same time, right now, you have the energy to get things done, like all this pressure and all of these responsibilities that are being put on you, you're having the energy to get it done. And then you have in your 8th house, the ruler making an aspect to Mars is making an aspect to your 8th house. So it could be some kind of gain in finances that come to you now this month, through all of this hard work that you've been doing. You've been having health issues, like as it pertains to like maybe your bones, or maybe like digestive issues, or maybe like heartburn and things like that. This is correlated especially to your to the foods that you're eating. So part of Saturn's lessons for you in the next 2.5 years is to have a very healthy routine, but also to have a very healthy health routine, like what you intake into your body, like what you eat. You're really being asked to focus on what you eat, your health regimen. So if you're having digestive issues, then that's because of what you're eating, directly correlated to that. And you might be traveling this month as well, towards the end of the month or next month, and those high expenses could be due to that. But also you need to watch your health. And by health, I don't mean like anything major, but mostly like your digestion, your heartburn, maybe indigestion, maybe weight gain or things like that, because of what you're going to be eating. So try not to eat it like too many greasy foods or foods high in carbohydrates. Try to stay as healthy as possible. Otherwise, you will get your digestive issues will go up this month and beginning of next month, even, because that's one of the lessons you're learning this month. There could be some kind of conflict in your relationships, like in your romantic relationships or even with your children, that due to your routine or due to your everyday life or how you're handling your work-life balance or your mental health. So there could be some kind of conflict there. So try to maintain peace. Try not to be too assertive with your loved ones, because Saturn retrograde there is really strong, and then all the planets opposite of that, especially Mars, you're being a little bit combative at the same time, and your ego is kind of like being getting hurt by your coworkers or by your loved ones or by your children if you have any. So I would just say, although you have all this drive, just watch your relationships with the outside world, because that's another lesson that you're learning this month. Other than that, the full moon now happening these next few days is in your 4th house. So you're closing a chapter that began 6 months ago as it pertained to your happiness, your home life, your stability. And then the new moon is happening, a new beginning on the 17th in your 11th house, which is bringing in a new chapter as it pertains to your wish fulfillments, your gains, your manifestations. So you can manifest some kind of new beginning at this time on the 17th with the new moon onward. And this new beginning could pertain to your love life. It could pertain to your gains. It could pertain to your work environment, really anything that you want. And before we go off to the next sign, I've been pulling out a card for all the signs. So let's see what the tarot energy is for you for this month. And a card fell. Let me see what card fell. Card was 6 of Swords, and 6 of Swords to me, I see it as a card of traveling, of going to far distance, to look for to let go and look for calmer waters after a period of instability or after a period of hardship. Now you're leaving and you're being guided to move forward into after the storm. So it's like you've been going with all these changes to your to Mercury. Mercury is the ruler of your 1st house and has been changing signs very rapidly, especially in your 10th house. You've been going, and now you're towards the end of the month. Things are going to get a lot calmer, and you're going to be traveling to a faraway land, or just like be traveling or just isolating and finding your sense of calm and your sense of peace. So the tarot was very aligned with your overall astrology for this month. And now we're off to the next sign, which is Libra. So the month of July is actually an excellent month for you. A lot of the things that you're going to be focusing on this month is your career, your ambitions, your friendships, making your wishes come true, your connections. You're coming in from a month where there's a lot of focus on and a lot of aggression and a lot of pent up sort of energy that wasn't allowing you to move forward in your career for the past month. And therefore there was a lot of pent up anger or like even resentment in your career or in your home life. And so now you're coming into this new energy where you're feeling a lot more focused. The ruler of your ascendant is going into the 11th house opposite Saturn. So this month is going to be all about your friendships, your connections, making big connections that are going to help you in life, taking action towards connecting with others, taking action towards your manifestations, your dreams. The ruler of your first house, Venus, is going into your 11th house. So your dreams around career life is coming true. However, after end of month, once Venus retrogrades, you're going to have to revisit something that was happening beginning of this month in terms of your career life or your home life as well. Or it could have happened back in January, or maybe you hear back from a career that you really wanted and didn't pan out for you. Regardless, this month is all about changing your reputation. Mercury is going into Mercury is going to be in your 10th house, which is going to give you a lot of rapid energy towards your career, but a little bit of procrastination. But quickly, it'll move out of your 10th house in mid-month and go into your 11th as well, where it's going to make you a lot more prone towards, again, manifestations, a change of reputation. There's not going to be a lot of energy in your love life. Like maybe your partner will want more of your energy, and you're just like more focused on your friendships and on creating something new, or working on a past hobby that you had that you're trying to learn about, or that you're trying to bring back this month, so that if it's closely related to your career life. The ruler of your first house until the 7th will be in your 10th house still. So it's like you're working hard, but you're about to get those hard work is about to be paid off, or like you've been working really hard and now you're going to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. But Saturn in your 5th house is making you have to revisit something around either your love life. Maybe your spouse has some kind of health issues, or maybe your spouse is trying to you're like revisiting, you're reviewing something around your relationship with your loved ones, if you have children, maybe reestablishing those relationships with your children, or just like if you started a new business this year, or if you're starting a new business or a creative endeavor, maybe you're revisiting something around that. That's coming back up now. Or if you were in school learning, maybe you're revisiting something around that, maybe redoing it, maybe relearning some things, because your manifestations are coming true. Now with this full moon in your 3rd house that's happening in these next 2 days, you are really focusing on completing a chapter that dealt with your luck, and that dealt with your willpower. So before, your willpower was like you've been working on your business and on starting maybe a new business for the last 6 months, or you've been working really hard on switching something around your career, or around your business, or around your sense of self and relationships. And now that chapter, either you're getting some kind of revelation, or that chapter is kind of like closing. This could have something to do with your siblings as well, some kind of revelation or something to do with that. By the end of this month, you're going to feel like you have completely changed emotionally, physically. Like there's so much changes that are happening because your Lagna ruler is going into your 11th house, that it's for the better. You're going to be feeling more like yourself. You have Jupiter in your 7th house making an aspect to your Mars and Leo, and soon to be Venus. So it's like this month, it's like you regain your strength. You're going to feel more like yourself, unlike the past few months, where you have been struggling a little bit with your emotions, with your home life, with your career life. So the only thing that I would caution for this month, because this is a great month for you where things are kind of like shifting in your favor, career-wise, money-wise, friendship-wise, in every aspect of your life. The only thing I would watch out for this month is a little bit of aggression, especially after the 7th, when Venus joins Mars, the ruler of your 1st house, in the sign of Leo. You can have some ego clashes and ego issues, especially with the outside world and with your spouse. So this could be a time when your spouse wants more attention from you, and you're just like unable to give it, or they're having like little issues and they're being a little bit petty towards you, or they're not feeling too good, they're having health issues, and therefore you're like over it kind of thing. But other than that, just watch like how you take action, because you can be very action oriented right now and very like driven this month. This is a really good month for your drive, that at times it could be too much for others, to the point where maybe they're feeling a little bit neglected, or they're feeling like you're being a little bit too aggressive to too much with them. So your aggression, your anger can manifest this month. But I would say that you're if you're single, a lot of you can meet somebody, or if your chart, of course, calls for that. Like if you have any retrograde planets ruling your seventh house, or if you have Venus retrograde, or Rahu in your seventh or first house, this could be a time when you meet somebody and your wishes are fulfilled in that area after a lot of hard work that you've been undergoing, because Saturn is in your fifth house, making you work hard for your manifestations, but ultimately they are going to be given to you. So this is a good month for that. On the new moon, which is on the 17th, it's happening in your 10th house. So this is a new beginning that's happening for you in terms of career. So maybe you start a new job, you get a promotion, you get recognition after all this hard work, but there's going to be a new beginning when it comes to your career life, and even when it comes to your home life. But it's like more career driven this month, especially after the second half than home. So maybe you neglect a little bit your home because you're so focused on your career, on your connections, on working in an institution, on manifesting your desires and your dreams. Let's see what the tarot says the energy for you is for this month. I'm pulling a card for everyone. And let's see. So what does the tarot say this month will look like for the Libra risings and Libra moons? So I got Ace of Wands, which Ace of Wands always remind me of like new beginnings, but let me see. Like I was saying, this is the month where everything shifts for you, where you go from being like in hermit mode, when you go from being in that mode that you've been isolated, secluded, towards going into this new beginning, this new manifestation, this outer appearance, this luck, enthusiasm, growth, and even for some of you, travel. So that's the energy that you got for the tarot. Now we're off to the next sign, which is Scorpio. So for the Scorpio rising and moon, so this month is all about your career. So you're coming in from a month that was very transformative. There was a Gandanta point happening in your ninth house, which meant that a lot of your beliefs in when it came in terms of the life around you were being tested. You were being tested at work. You were being tested within your belief systems, and you were transforming yourself. So first half of the month, you're going to really continue to reevaluate the things that you need to change in your life and the things that you need to transform. But Mercury is moving fast, and by mid-month, all of your focus is going to be on your career life and your happiness. So there's like this sense of dissatisfaction in your home life or within your own sense of self that's really being exaggerated this month and very prevalent, especially after Venus goes retrograde on I believe the 27th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, on the 23rd, Venus goes retrograde, and this is when those feelings of feeling like discontentment at home, or things from the past coming back up, or things with your mother, or just things from your past friendships, past relationships resurfacing because they left like a bad feeling in your life. And so you're wanting to feel better about those things. You're wanting to revisit those things and release them in some way, or just revise them in some way. So that's coming up for you this month with Saturn and Venus being retrograde. But a lot of your energy is in your career life, your image. Most of your energy is in learning how to balance your emotions, your home life, and your career life, because so much of your time is being spent at work that you're having no time for yourself. You feel like there's a lot of burdens, there's a lot of responsibilities. However, this is a great month to get things done at work, to change your reputation, to change careers, to change jobs. Only change jobs after the 23rd if this was something that was planned, if this was something that you had already been planning for since January or before. Then it's okay for you to change careers after the 23rd once Venus goes retrograde. Otherwise, I would say things in your career are going to get better, but after the 23rd, there's going to be some kind of revisiting of something that was done or missed, or something from the past that dealt with your career and your home life and your happiness. There's a lot of energy, and you can even like feel like a little bit entitled at work or in your career life or with others in the outside world to the point where you can be a little bit aggressive. So I would just say watch how you treat others, especially the people who are under you and your superiors as well, because you can have a lot of pent up or a lot of aggression, a lot of energy to the point where it's a little bit too much for others, where it could be a little bit aggressive, or you just decide to like take harsh actions that don't need to be taken. I would say be careful with like your expenses because they're high this month. You're also spending a lot in work related matters, or you're just taking on a lot of debt. If you're taking on a lot of debt, I would caution you to be careful because you have a lot of planets transiting your 6th house, and the South Node is in your 12th house. So there's a lot of debt that you're not seeing very clearly that can be that you're accumulating. But you know, there could be some kind of relocation this month as well. However, because of your very high expenses, I would say if you can just hold off on that, but you can relocate this month. Your expenses might go up because of that even more, to the point where it's going to feel like a burden on you later on in the months, especially after October. You're going to feel like this was a big burden. This is something that needs to be revisited. But yeah, this month is good for career. This month is good. It's a really good energy where you're going to feel much better than you have been, especially health-wise. However, expenses are high this month. There's a sense of inner dissatisfaction in your happiness or in past relationships or past career moves, or just like feeling guilt or regret around certain situations from your past that are going to come up this month after Venus goes retrograde on the 22nd. Then you also have the full moon is happening in your 2nd house. So there's a completion that's happening in these next few days as it pertains to your sense of stability, to your finances. And then the new moon happening on it could even mean just like a revelation of some sort. And then the new moon happening on the 17th in your 9th house. This can mean that you're starting a new chapter in your belief systems and your how you view the world around you, how you portray yourself to the world around you, and your luck. So I would say manifest something around better luck, better career outcome, better views, better ethical moral values, changing the way that you perceive your happiness and your home environment and your career environment. Because this could also mean a new opportunity in career, a new opportunity in traveling, or traveling for some kind of spiritual reason. So let's see what the tarot says the energy is for you, and what is the energy for the Scorpio risings and moons. Okay, so we got the 2 of Wands, and this one is like, to me, this means like you have the world at your hands and you're looking out into the horizons. But give me 1 second. You're making some kind of new decisions, or you have 2 paths to take in this life. It could be related to work, could be related to home. You might be suddenly leaving, or you're wanting to travel, and you're seeing like the world has more options than what you currently have been experiencing. Like there's more out there, there's other options, there's the world out there. And you're making a decision this month in terms of that. This could be a decision when it comes to moving. This could be a decision when it comes to career, which really aligns with what the astrology is for you this month. Is very similar to what I was talking about earlier. Now we're off to the next sign, which is Sagittarius. This is actually a pretty good month for you in many regards. Okay, so all year long, this is going to be a good year for you because your Ascendant Lord is in your 5th house, and Jupiter's in Aries, which is the Lord of your Ascendant, which means that luck is on your side. You're feeling happy. You're feeling Like things can go your way even when life throws rocks at you, you can still overcome them. But especially because first half of the month you have Sun and Mercury in your 7th house, which means that for those of you who are single or for those of you who are in a marriage relationship, your relationships are asking more of you, or you're sort of I'm focusing more on your relationships. They can be needing more from you at this time, which you might not be able to give them. But at the same time, you have a lot of planets in your 5th house. So you are wanting more romance and you are seeking more stronger bonds within your relationships. First half of the month, this could be a time when a lot of you get into a relationship if you're single, for the Sagittarius rising and moons. So this is like or it could be a business relationship. It could also be a contract, like a business contract, or even like if you were trying to conceive a child, this is a time when some of you might be thinking about conceiving, or might be thinking about, or might even give birth this month for some of you, or or get pregnant. Of course, this all depends on your personal chart, but the chances are there. The possibility is there right now. And Mars has entered your 9th house, so your belief systems are you have a lot of energy right now to voice your beliefs, to go after your dreams, your wishes. Your luck is on your side. Mars is giving you a lot of energy for luck when it comes to romance, when it comes to creating your own business. If you have your own business, expanding that business, or when it comes to your own sense of self, like a lot of you are really thinking about like your beliefs about your bodies, your beliefs about your sense of self. Maybe you're taking on new workouts, or maybe you're taking on a healthier regimen or a healthy way of viewing yourself, or just like working on your belief systems around your body and how you treat your body and how you view your body. So it's a good time to work on your health, work on your fitness. This is a good time when you're going to have energy for that. And after the 7th, when Venus also joins your 9th house, this is a time when you're really feeling a lot more beautiful and a lot more optimistic. However, Sun enters your 8th house of sudden events after the 17th. So this could be a time when sudden things are coming to the surface or coming to light. Secrets are coming to light, or sudden things are resurfacing around your relationships or around just like your life in general. Or this could be a time when sudden events occur. I'm not saying negative events, because luck is on your side for this next year, especially this month. But at the same time, these are events that are meant to happen for you to change your course, or for you to change something. You can be doing a lot of traveling this month, especially to learn new things, especially to expand your horizons. A lot of your energy is going towards that, or even just like moving in some way, or just like traveling a lot this month. There's a lot of new beginnings. There's a lot of new like new ideas, or like conception of like a new life. This could be a new life in terms of career, in terms of relationships, in terms of business, or it could be a new life in terms of like moving countries, or just like moving in general, or just traveling, or just like even a new life in terms of how you view yourself. Saturn there in your 3rd house retrograde, this could bring a little bit of tension when it comes to your communication. Like you have a lot of beliefs and a lot of things you want to express to the world around you, but at the same time, Saturn is delaying that. But at the same time, if you were thinking about past business ideas, this is the month when a lot of those wishes and dreams, you're finally going to be able to do it. Once Venus goes retrograde 2nd half of the month, which will be on the 25th, it'll be in your 9th house. So if you were planning to start a new business and there were some delays from the past, maybe this is a time when you actually started. But if it's something brand new that you just thought of and you want to start it, I would say hold off on that, unless your personal chart like you have retrograde planets in your 3rd or 9th house, then it might be a good time to start something new. Otherwise, I would say hold off on starting anything new unless it was already planned from before, and now you're deciding to actually take action towards it. Then Mars enters, Mercury also enters your 9th house on the 25th. So it's like your communication, your business ideas they're all coming to fruition. You're able to express them. You're able to finally take charge on that. I would just, the only thing that I would caution for, like, because you're making a lot of future plans, a lot of things are moving forward for you. I would just say watch for misunderstandings in your speech. Watch for misunderstandings. Watch for misunderstandings, and don't get especially with your family, with your parents, or like when you're expressing yourself to your siblings, to your parents, to your friends, like there could be some misunderstandings that you need to work through at this time, especially after Venus goes retrograde on the 23rd. But other than that, your mind, this retrograde Venus is really bringing up new thoughts, or is really bringing up a revision of the way that you view yourself, of the way that you view your love life. Maybe you get into a new relationship, or maybe a past relationship comes into your life that you need to revise, that you need to revisit. This could be sudden, or this is something that's been in the back of your mind for a while now. But or maybe after the retrograde, you become very involved in like body, like in your body, and like it's too much, like your where it's getting unhealthy, so you're gonna have to revise the way that you view yourself, your self-esteem, the way that you view your identity. But luck is on your side. You can gain financially this month as well, especially if you own your own business, or if you work in like media, this is a good month for that. A lot of creative flow, a lot of new creative ideas, or revisiting or picking up on old ideas. Now I'm going to check. The full moon is happening over your first house in this next 2 days. So you're completing a cycle that dealt with your identity, with your sense of self, with who you are as a person, and how you view yourself in relation to the outside world. This could also be a closure of a chapter in terms of your relationships as well. So and it doesn't have to be like an ending or anything like that. It could just be a revelation of some sort that you get, like an aha moment. And then on the new moon is happening on the 17th, I believe. Yep, in your 8th house. So this could be a new beginning in terms of like transformation. It could be transformation of your sense of self. It could be transformation of your gains, of your assets, of your relationships with others. It's a transformation to your financial status, your investments. But the new moon in Cancer in your 8th house is opening up a new chapter in terms of transformations in general, and in terms of like intuition and digging deep, and assets. So if you had assets, this is a time when you can make the wish or manifest those assets coming to fruition, or selling those assets. Just don't try to make any rash like financial decision during Venus retrograde, because it's never a good idea. All right, now I'm going to pull up a card to see what the energy of tarot is for you for this month. And let's see. And we got Justice. That was the very first one we got. So Justice. Let's see. Card is all about balance, and all about commitments and contracts, and getting what you deserve, and getting like the karmic positive or negative outcomes of your karmic journey. So like I was talking about earlier, there's a lot of planets in your 7th and 5th house. So this could be commitments. So new commitments to like business, new commitments to contracts, getting, being abiding by the karmic laws of life, and getting justice because of it. So karma and luck being on your side as a result of your good karmas, because justice is serving you, like karma is serving you. So it's very aligned with what we were talking about earlier in your reading. And now we're off to the next sign, which is Capricorn. Rising and moons. Okay, so this month is like an okay month for you. I mean, it's not the best, it's not the worst. There will be some issues that you might encounter. Like the first half of the month, you're focusing on your work, you're focusing on your health. Second half of the month, there could be some kind of issues that come up for you in terms of your career, like this discontentment or this dissatisfaction in terms of your career life can come up for you. Although you have energy to complete tasks, you're not really getting the recognition that you deserve, or you're not really getting recognized in your career life, or there's something around your relationships that are needing to could be contracts and things like that that are needing to be revisited and revised this month. There's if you were waiting for like a settlement, or if you sold like a home, or if you were trying to sell a home, or if you were trying to settle on insurance or inheritance, this could be the month where you finally receive that. If it was being delayed, I would just say be careful with like how you handle your actual finances and how you handle your the foods that you eat, because your health can be a little bit tested this month. Make sure that you're eating healthy foods, you're taking care of your body. You're working very hard, almost to the point of like exhaustion, and almost to the point of like you have no energy for anything else other than work this month, especially the first half. And then the second half, a lot of your energy is going towards your relationships, revisiting something in your relationships from the past. Or after Venus goes retrograde on the 23rd, it'll be in your 8th house. This could be a time when maybe your in-laws, or maybe something around your relationships comes to the surface, where you're having to like revisit how you communicate in your relationships, what you lacked in your relationships, what was missing before, or just like new revelations around your partnerships that could happen after the 23rd all the way until September. But especially this month is going to be a little bit of a difficult month for you in terms of your family, your finances, your sense of stability. You're not feeling very stable, and you're feeling like angsty, or you're feeling like you need to transform, or you're feeling like there's something around your financial stability, as well as like your investments that you're needing to transform, because a lot of your energy is being leaked by others. Like you're drowning in energy. You could be drowning in like your energy's drowning, like you're working and not seeing any results. And then by the middle month, when Mercury, after the 17th, Sun joins your 7th house, and it's like your partner, your spouse is going to need more energy from you, and you really don't have a lot of energy to give. Or it could be the case where your business partners or your career partners are asking more of you, and you really have no energy to give. Like you're low on energy this month. You need to watch your health, because you're working so much, you're not really taking much care of your body, or maybe you're just like, the foods that you're intaking are not the healthiest, and therefore you're having digestive issues, or like anxiety, or something around your family that's bringing up some kind of anxiety or anxious feelings. Could also be the case where once Venus goes into your 8th house, some kind of sudden transformation happens in your relationship. This could be for the better as well. If you watch your communication, especially after the 25th, you need to really watch how after the 8th of July, you need to really watch how you're communicating with in your partnerships, because your communication can be a little bit emotional, and maybe this is like hurting your spouse, and you can get it. That's could be part of the reason why your energy is being leaked, and why you have no drive at home, or there's like a sense of dissatisfaction in your career and in your home life. Maybe your career is asking more of you, but you're feeling a little bit detached. And then when you go home, there's your spouse or your home life, there's like issues, and you're having to give your energy to your home life. And then it's like there's no balance, and you're feeling really out of balance this month. But this month, it's kind of like teaching you a little bit of like your drive. What is it that you need to transform, so that next month you can feel more driven, and you can feel more aligned in your relationships and in your career and in your work life. However, this could be a good month for investments, for selling investments, for receiving inheritances or receiving investments. That's going to go your way. That's going to be positive for you. This could be a good month also, the beginning, for you to like work on your physical health and your physical fitness. The full moon is happening over your 12th house, so you're releasing some kind of pent up like aggression, or pent up, maybe you could be traveling also, or maybe just getting an aha moment as it pertains to like your subconscious mind, or your subconscious fears that you're needing to let go of. And then on the 17th onward, you're beginning a new cycle as it pertains to relationships. This could be relationships in terms of like marriage relationships, love relationships, partnerships. This could be in terms of all of that. So it's not the best month. It's not the worst month. It's good. It's a good month for certain things, like to transform yourself. It's not a good month for you to have ego clashes with your spouse or at work or with your family. It's not a good month to be too egotistical because you're going to have a lot of energy towards relevations and like just saying the things that you want, but at the same time that might hurt the feelings of others. And it's not a good month for feeling satisfaction within your own sense of self. It could be a bit of a lonely month if you don't cooperate well with others, because you're learning some kind of lesson about stability, and you're learning some kind of lesson about transforming yourself so that you can find stability. But with that comes ego clashes. So as long as you let go of ego clashes, as long as you like humble your speech or how you communicate in your partnerships with anyone, the lessons will glide and the lessons will be better than if you resist and you don't really and you let your ego sort of take hold, because the sun is going to be in your 7th house. Others are going to be demanding energy from you, but you don't have the energy to give. And so you might just like burst out and say things that you might regret later on. And now we're going to pull out a card for the Capricorn. What is the energy for July for Capricorn? Let's see. Okay, so it says 4 of Cups. To me, the 4 of Cups is like contemplation of like a new opportunity, and like thinking, sitting back and thinking about what you need to do differently this time to get a new opportunity. So let's see. Hold on. The 4 of Cups is like a card of nostalgia, or like a reflecting on missed opportunities, or reflecting back on what you could have done differently in certain areas of your life, and what feeling stagnant or disillusioned or having negative or feeling a little bit depressed, a little bit sad, a little bit out of alignment with your happiness. So not feeling very happy and thinking about how your ego could have gotten in the way of certain things or certain missed opportunities that went by you. In terms of, think back at what I said in the reading, because this is very aligned with what the reading was saying, that this month is a nostalgic month that is really helping you reflect on your relationships, and reflect on your communication within your relationships, and reflect on the opportunities that are coming your way, or reflect on or just like a sense of dissatisfaction and not feeling very focused this month. So the tarot was very aligned with what we were talking about. So off to the next sign, which is Aquarius. Okay, so this is a month when Saturn is over your 1st house in your own sign. So Saturn is very strong in your life right now. So it's commanding and demanding you to change everything in your life. At first, there's going to be a lot of changes 1st half of the month when it comes to your love life, your relationship, children. Maybe you're feeling a little bit detached from your loved ones and from your children, and they're requiring more energy of you, and you really don't have the energy to give it to them. If you have your own business, your business can also be requiring you to give more energy to it, and this is something that is becoming more intensified for you, and it's a little bit difficult right now. You're also, if anything, like any kind of like health issues could be coming up for you right now, and these health issues need to be addressed right nip it in the butt, like as soon as they happen, because Saturn, when it's retrograde, it expands and it grows in energy. And whatever hasn't been working that you've been neglecting, it's going to grow, and it's going to be so evident that, but at the same time, Saturn will also give you the tools necessary to be able to heal it. So take care of anything that deals with your health right away, and you'll see you'll have the energy to do this, and you'll be able to heal it. But if you suppress it, it's just going to get worse and worse as the month goes on. Then Mercury is going to quickly go into your 6th house, where Venus is currently situated until the 7th. Mercury will be there. It enters there on the 8th. And so your work, your coworkers, your health, and your routine is going to require you, it's going to ask more of you. So you're thinking about your health more. after the 8th all the way until about the 25th, you're thinking about new ways of working, new business ventures. And then Mars is in your 7th house, which means that your spouse can be requiring a lot from you. There's a lot of aggression coming from your spouse, or or a lot of aggression and a lot of energy, a lot of anger that you're projecting onto your spouse if you're married and the relationship's not going well. If the relationship is going well, then there's a lot of passion in the relationship right now, where you can even take the next steps at this time, where you're feeling like you really want to meet new people if you're single, or you really want to solidify the relationship that you're currently in. So you're solidifying this relationship, or you're having a lot of energy towards meeting new people or creating new things or picking up old hobbies, especially after the second half of the month, once Venus is in your 7th house after the 8th, and Venus goes retrograde on the 23rd. So once Venus goes retrograde, there's going to be things from your past in terms of relationships, or in terms of even like work or contracts, that are going to have to be revisited, that are going to possibly something from like January, or even from like the beginning of June or end of April, or end of May, that have to be revisited at this time. That could be dealing with your work, health, or even relationships. So your relationships are going to ask more of you this month. Maybe you have the energy to give it to them. Maybe you don't. If you don't, then I would say watch your anger this month. Your speech can be very aggressive. You can have a little bit of ego issues when it comes to how you're speaking to your spouse or your loved ones. If you own your own business, your workers, your co-workers, or there could be some kind of enemies or opposition at work that comes up. I would say be careful taking on new expenses, especially after mid-month, once Sun enters your 6th house, which will be on the 17th. Sun enters your 6th house, so your work and routine is going to require more of you. Just don't take on more expenses than you should. Your relationships are going to require more of you in your daily life. So maybe you're meeting new people, or maybe you're making new contracts, like new business partners or new business contracts, or perhaps you're also could be getting into a relationship this month if you're single, or some of you even maybe getting married. If you're getting married or getting into a new relationship, make sure it's before the 23rd. Unless this was something that was pre-planned, or this was somebody that you met from your past, then that's okay to after the 23rd, once Venus goes retrograde. Otherwise, if it's something on the whim, something that you decided to just impulsively do, like get married and you didn't really think this through, and it's after the 23rd, don't do it. Think about it, unless in your chart, that's what it's saying. Like if in your chart, in your 7th house, you have a retrograde Venus, or if you have a retrograde Venus in your chart, or if you have the planet, the ruler of your 7th house is retrograde, then maybe this could be the case for you, where you end up getting married during a retrograde. If this is not the case for you, then I would refrain from new relationships, anything new. Something from your past that you're revisiting, sure. Revisiting old relationships, putting closure to those old relationships, or, relevations to what you needed to do differently, that's fine. So there's going to be new relevations in relationships. It could be business partnerships. It could be contracts. It could be outside world. Like people are just demanding more of your energy. You have energy to give them, but just be careful on how you give it to them. It's not in an aggressive manner. Maybe you're getting new ideas about businesses is a good time for that as well. Just be sure that if you're starting a new business venture, make sure it's something from the past that you're picking up on, or something that you were already doing. And you're tweaking, reassessing, or it could also be the case that things from your past, when it comes to work, come back into your life that you thought you had already handled, and they resurface in order for you to redo it in some way. Because this energy of Venus and also like watch your spending. This could be a month when your expenses, when you're not really watching your spending that much, and Venus is going to ask you to revisit like how you spend your money, what you're spending your money on, revisiting relationships, revisiting contracts, revisiting work, routine, health. Those are the big themes for you this month. Now let's take out, this is not a bad month. It's just like, it's very relationship focused, it's very people focused, it's very energy filled month, and it's also, after the second half, a month that's going to ask you to revisit a lot of things from your past. Let's see, what is the energy for Aquarius for the month of July? And it's Ace of Swords. And to me, Ace of Swords, like, kind of like gives me this feeling of like new opportunities, or like a battle that has been won. So let's see, hold on. Ace of Swords. So it's like new ideas, plans, new projects, new beginning, having the clarity to make decisions, and success in all the decisions that you make, because the king has arrived in your seventh house. So Mars is in a Leo, the king. So it's like, and it has like a crown and everything. So this action that you're taking is very kingly, and it's the right action because you have the clarity to realize the truth, what's true, especially after the retrograde. Maybe truth resurface in your life that you weren't seeing before, and so you're taking the right decision, you're making the right decisions with your vision, you're asserting yourself, you're communicating, you're taking action towards a new beginning, new ideas, projects, victories on your side. So that's what it means, and it was very aligned with what the reading said. Alrighty, up to the last sign, which is Pisces. Rising in Pisces moons, you still have Saturn in your 12th house, and it's retrograde, which is expanding your need to change something around your mental abilities. You're isolating a lot, or you're just thinking a lot, maybe staying up at night or sleeping too much, one of the two, or having very vivid dreams. But there's something about your sense of inner self that you're changing with this retrograde that you're having to go over, especially as it pertains to your career. This could be some kind of dissatisfaction in your career life, but yet energy to get things done. Maybe some things with your health, mental or physical health, are coming up for you this month. This is not a bad month though for you. However, the first half of the month, you will notice that a lot of your energy is going towards your home life and your career. Maybe you've been working a lot and your home is asking more of you to be present. Your home life is asking you to be more present, or like things are happening at home, or having to be home more, but at the same time, it's like you have like this imbalance between your career and your home life, your love life, your career, your home life. So those are like the major areas that are being activated for you this month. The ruler of your second house of family it just went into the sixth house. So it's like you're working a lot this month. You're working on your health. Any little health issue that comes up, you have to nip it in the butt right away, because Saturn is going to give you the opportunity to heal it, but only when you address it right away. If not, it's just, if you suppress it, it's just going to grow and grow and grow until you decide it's time to address it. But you're working a lot on your health and fitness, and your romantic relationships. After the 7th, your Venus goes into your 6th house. So a lot of your attention is going into your day-to-day life, your health, your fitness. Then Sun enters your 5th house after the 17th, which means that your loved ones are creating a new business venture, or your loved ones or your relationships are going to ask more of you at this time. The ruler of your 7th house, Mercury, is going into your 5th. So this can be a renewal of relationships for some of you, or if you're single, this could be like you wanting to meet more people, or wanting to put yourself out there more, or wanting to go out more, or wanting to spend more time having fun with friends. This could be also a time when some of you decide to move or renovate your homes. First half of the month, second half of the month is more about feeling more comfortable in your space, or changing your day-to-day life, day-to-day activities, changing your health routine, changing your work routine. Just be careful with ego clashes at work. That's the only thing I would caution against. You could have some mental stress, some mental instability this month, especially after the second half. Once Venus goes retrograde in your 6th house, is like you're revisiting something that pertain to your work environment, to your work life. Or some of you can be traveling a lot this month, having a lot of energy towards travel, or wanting to just take on travel ventures, wanting to spend more time traveling with your loved ones, with your romantic partner if you're in a relationship, or even starting a new business. Or if you were going to start, if it's an old business that you wanted to start, this is a good time for that. Or if it's something brand new that you didn't think of before, maybe this is not the best time for that. But once Venus goes retrograde on the 27th, there could be some rethinking of how you handle your everyday life, rethinking of how you handle your relationships, or rethinking on how you want your routines and your work environment to be like, or even like rethinking your home life, rethinking your happiness. There's a sense of loss as it pertains to your inner stability, inner happiness. It's like a mixed bag of a month, but you have a lot of energy this month towards your routine, towards your health. You have a lot of energy towards growing your income. Maybe you get some new ventures, some new income ventures, finances. There could be some kind of challenges in your work relationships where people are like up against you, or like they're draining your energy at work, or there's like a lot of opposition for you at work that you're having to revisit, especially after Venus goes retrograde on the 23rd. There's a lot of revisiting of your position, your role in your work environment. So just be careful with ego clashes when it comes to that, because you can be a little bit emotional. Maybe within your relationship, your loved one wants more attention from you, or wants you to do fun things with them, or do more things with them, but you're just kind of like drained by your everyday life. Or it could be the case that you just have a lot of energy right now, and this is a great thing. You can have a lot of energy, and after the 23rd, you're going to be revisiting what you need to do in your work environment to feel more stable within your work environment, within your relationships. And if you own your own business, within your business ventures, creativity. The full moon is happening right now in your 10th house these next few days. So it's like you're closing a chapter in your career and in your home life that that started 6 months ago. So you're closing this chapter today, or in the next few days. You're closing a chapter. This could be a revelation of some sort. And then after the 17th, the new moon is happening in your 5th house. So for those of you that are single, you can manifest a new love relationship, or if you wanted to conceive, this is a good time to manifest a child. Or if you wanted to start a new business venture, this is a good time to manifest that for the next 6 months. Or if you wanted to just spend more time with or renew your love relationship, it's a good month for that as well. And remember, the new moons are like a 6-month cycle that take place, and then they close off during the full moon. So the full moon will happen 6 months later. And now I'm going to pull out a tarot card to see what the energy is this month for the Pisces rising and moons. What is the energy this month for the Pisces rising and moons? What is the energy this month? Okay. The Knight of Cups. Okay, let's see. The Knight of Cups talks about like proposals. Like it could be romantic proposals. It could be following your heart, invitations of the deal with following your heart. It could deal with charm. It could deal with being charming, attracting others, going out, dating, being playful, graceful, sensitive, and doing everything with charm. Everything that you take action towards is with charm, following your heart and going towards the things that you love. So that is the energy for you this month. And you will have a lot of planets in your 5th house of love and romance. So this is a great month for those of you who are single to have new or renewal of relationships, especially like old relationships after the 23rd, when Venus goes retrograde. There might be like a revisiting of old relationships and or new relationships from a past life or from the past, like just proposals, going out, having fun with friends or with romantic partners, or new creative. It could also mean like new proposals in a creative way as well. So I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Bye.